when he sees me, it's all over. It's all over. And all the girls gonna hate, just like when the regular world, when I'm out here in the streets walking around in the mall, how I have friends that don't like me. It's gonna be the same way.
Bootz. I want to knock on. Can I knock on Bootz?
You kept it together a lot in multiple situations in both Flavor of Love and in Charm School. Particularly one thing I'm thinking of with New York.
With New York, I probably was laughing inside because I knew she wasn't about that life. I am. So I kind of felt like, I know you're here because of the character she is. I know in real life she's not like that. So in my head, I'm keeping my cool because I know, why am I going to even like go there when I know she's not going to do anything? You know what I mean?
I'm so shocked that he brung her here, and what the fuck is she doing here?
There were several instances where, you know, she was such an instigator and she loved to push people's buttons. And then you're just like, I'm just not going to let you get to me.
The first second that New York walked into the door, Bootz was like, bam, bam, what the hell you doing? Bootz did the Bootz on her. Honey, please.
I think you're far gone because you're the one who fucked him and you were never even...
Yeah.
So I kind of kept my composure because I knew, well, it's not going to be a fair fight because she's not like me. You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So I kind of, that was my thought process. Like, she's just going to say a couple things, whatever they tell her to say, and run with it.
I would have to say my first impression of Bootz is straight up video hoe. You know, she's just hip hop trash.
Now, on Charm School, I actually was pissed off because I actually, with the whole debate with Monique, I was trying to do the best I could without cussing out certain girls that I thought I was cool with on that scene. And then right after that is when New York, remember they surprised us with New York on Charm School.
Right, yes.
So to this day, I kind of regret not flipping out because I felt like I didn't like how I looked in that scene. I kind of looked like, oh, you just didn't say anything. And I don't like that look.
And I feel like ain't nothing good enough. That pisses me off, and I'm going to say
it should.
I know what you mean.
But I didn't say it because I felt like I could possibly win. But then once everything started happening after that scene, I just was like, nah, I'm ready to go.
To being a baby. So do me a favor, Larissa.
This was a debate.
Get angry. Get as angry as you can, because maybe tomorrow, sister, you'll straighten out your attitude.
Yeah.
Because I actually left. But they played it. That's one thing I can say.
Oh.
I left and they made us do a scene where Monique was saying you're, whatever they say when they give you your pen. I forgot what she says.
Oh, expelled?
Yeah, you're expelled or whatever she said. I actually told them, nah, I'm ready to go home. They were like, and Monique even said, well, you're not the one going home.
Huh.
And I said, well, I really don't care. Because I felt like at that point, you guys are using our real names. You're not using the character names on Flavor of Love. And now I'm feeling disrespected. She didn't know anything about us. So I kind of felt like Monique was on there doing worse than the other girls. Like, how are you on Charm School, but you trying to attack the girls and you're the host?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
on the reunion. And that's never going to fly with me.
And I feel like for a judge to beat me down the whole way is not going to work because it ain't worked in the world. And that's the reason why I came here. So when it happens here, it's like my attitude is, excuse my language, but that.
I gotta say, I wasn't super familiar with Monique as an entertainer before the show anyway, but I was open-minded to her watching you guys' show. And I was really kind of put off by her as well because I just thought that she had this sort of holier-than-thou attitude.
Because when life get a hold of you, it uses no Vaseline. It simply bends you over. And it's very painful. Ew.
It just came across as a little bit forced. And I felt like she was condescending and disrespectful because Sharon would like put us in our place. And like, you know, Sharon was just very direct and just her directness was like, oh, like I'm not going to mess with you. And she didn't have to do anything beyond just be direct. Monique to me had a holier than thou attitude. And Monique, she thought that, I got the vibe that she almost wanted you guys to be submissive to her.
How do we put our heads back up? How do we walk down the street when a little girl 10 says to Larissa, you told that bitch something? What do we say to her? What do we say to her? What do we do about that, sister? That's my point.
I actually was bothered watching her and how she treated you guys, and especially her treatment of you, because there is some elements of your personality that do remind me of myself, and that you're very strong-willed and you stand up for yourself and you respect others, and so you expect respect back to me.
And it wasn't called for either. I could see if I called her fat or called her name, and then she's like, oh, okay, well, let me say this to her, or like you said, put them in their place. From the very beginning, I was told by the producers this was going to be, because, Baby Fat was popping back then before she Kimora relaunched it now. And they told me literally, it's going to be like The Apprentice. I had no clue this was Charm School. They told me you're going to, and I said, Apprentice how? They were like, Kimora Lee Simmons is the host, and you guys can really work for her company. So you guys are fighting to be in her company of Baby Fat. So I'm like, wait a minute. So, of course, I signed, but that was them to get me to sign.
That's insane.
And so when I got there, literally our facial expressions are like that. And I had an attitude because the first thing out of Monique's mouth when we're standing in the very first episode and she comes out, first of all, I didn't know it was going to be her, number one. I actually was a fan of hers and her comedy and stuff. I thought she was funny. But I was shocked that she wasn't as real as I thought she would be. And usually you hear someone out. I would think she would have heard someone out. Any of us girls at least try to talk to us.
We gotta get it back.
And that's when somebody roll up on me. You think I'm supposed to be sitting here, okay, Monique? Hell no. You don't come at me like that.
You never talk to us, but you're going to call me a little girl, you're going to do this, and then expect somebody to not say something. Like you said, we're all grown to be on the show. You have to be 21. I may not be 40 years old like she was, but you know what I mean? Like, I own my own business. She probably didn't own her own business at the same age I did. So she can never, like, I just didn't even like you said, how she came across was really, like, confrontational, and she expected, like, us to bow down. And I just felt like, how in your right mind did you ever think that I would, or any of the girls? I think that some of the other girls were okay with it because I guess they felt like the mentality of their elders. But for me, elders does not mean age.
Yes.
I really hated Charm School. I really hated it.
It looks like you did. And I remember when you looked like you had a great time on Flavor of Love, and you looked like Charm School like completely sucked for you. I felt like she had targeted you. Like, I almost feel like you reminded her of like the girl that like her man cheated on her with or something. Like, I couldn't figure out why she just like had this vendetta.